All right, greetings, everyone. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Again, please hit that like button. Also, share. Please share the content and subscribe. We are approaching 100,000 subscribers. And once we approach 100K subscribers, we will have a special giveaway for a lucky person. Again, we will have a special giveaway for a lucky subscriber. Danny, are you subscribed? Have you subscribed, Danny?
A lot of myself and a lot of my friends and family as well, man.
Okay. So you're eligible for the giveaway. You are eligible.
Uhuru is everywhere in Ghana.
You are eligible for the giveaway then. And also too, guys, make sure you also subscribe to our OneAfrica Properties YouTube page as well. Please subscribe to the OneAfrica Properties YouTube page as well. OneAfrica Properties, your central source for real estate on the Africa continent. Today we have a special guest on with us. One of our OneAfrica Properties partners, agents, is on with us today, Mr. Danny Angels, and we're going to be discussing opportunity to acquire land in Aburi Hills. Danny's company has a great opportunity, and we're going to be discussing that today. And if you go to OneAfricaProperties.com, again, visit OneAfricaProperties.com, you could view what is available on our site. Again, OneAfricaProperties.com. Visit there and you can view what is available on our site. Everyone, without further ado, Mr. Danny Angels, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Danny Angels from Accra, Ghana. I'm the CEO of Royal Kingdom Estate, and we've been operating in the last 4 years. We are probably one of the most vibrant, arguably the most vibrant real estate companies in Ghana, which is serving the diaspora with service plots, construction, and engineering, and a lot of properties as well.
Okay, Danny, now we were just having a conversation offline in regards to what's the best country in the world. You said Ghana.
Ghana is the best.
Tell everybody why Ghana is the best country and why you think Ghana is the best country in the world. Go ahead, tell everybody.
Ghana is located at the center of the world.
Okay.
Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that?
Is the what?
It's located at the center of the earth.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Keep going.
And Ghana is one of the most blessed nations in the world. Okay. We have all the natural mineral resources in the world. And then in addition, we have one of the most resourceful human force in the world as well.
Okay. All right. So, well, there it is, guys. But if you have not visited Ghana, make sure you go. And I've been to the Aburi Mountains. I've been absolutely beautiful. Depending where you're at in Aburi, you can have an absolutely beautiful view of the city of Accra. Now, without traffic, it's about, we'll say, from downtown Accra. Well, not downtown Accra. So I usually stay at the Africa region. When I come into town in Accra, I stay at the Africa
region. Yes, yeah. Yes.
That's where I usually stay. Right, exactly. Right, exactly. Right across the street. That's where I usually stay. And I would say it's about 40 minutes, no traffic to get up there.
That's right.
But if there's traffic, it could be a couple hours, depending on the traffic. So yeah, tell everybody more about Aburi. I mean, that's been a hot spot as far as people interested in acquiring property in Accra or in Ghana. People have been talking about Aburi. Tell us more about Aburi.
So Aburi is actually in the eastern region of Ghana, but it's more closer to Accra than some of the cities or towns in Accra. So if you cast our mind back, way back in the 1950s, the Ghana's first president had the Pedoasi Lodge, which is very close to Aburi. So the weather in Aburi, the greenery, and the serenity and the view is what makes Aburi one of the top destinations for property buyers. You normally get the middle class and the upper class acquiring properties in Aburi.
Okay. Welcome, Kelly. How are you, sir? We're live. Just let you know we're now live. Just so.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Kelly, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Kelly Seme. I'm part of the Royal Kingdom Estate, and more or less, I've been invited by Danny to join yourselves. So I'm here to just contribute to wherever I'm able to add to what you have for today.
Yeah. And what role do you play with Royal Kingdom Estate?
More or less, I am an associate with Danny Angels. I am someone that is a developer myself. And effectively, one of the key reasons why I actually knitted with Danny Angels, so I invest in Ghana quite a lot. One of the issues I've had over the years is being able to find credible land to purchase in order for me to utilize for development. And I've had issues over the years, but for the first time, I met someone that had credible land to sell. I did all the due diligence, and all the questions that I had were properly and adequately answered to my satisfaction. And also just getting in touch with Danny, being able to meet up with him and actually understanding his vision and how he came about all of these actually gave me a lot of confidence that there are people that are actually wanting to do things right. There are people that actually got the ability to actually bring credibility to the housing market. And I live in the UK. So I meet a lot of people in the diaspora that do similar things as I do. And I think the biggest pain that most of them have had is being able to get access to people that they can actually rely on, depend on, and be able to progress with whatever vision that they have. And I think for the first time, we've got someone that is able to deliver that to the people in the diaspora.
Now, Danny, we were having a conversation before we were live. You say you're in hospitality before.
Yes, for close to a decade. What did you do in hospitality?
What did you do in hospitality?
I have done everything, including marketing, food and beverage, conferencing. So I have met a lot of experts and in the diaspora in these years of working in the hospitality. And I have interacted with these people for so many years. So when I ventured into real estate, my primary goal was to serve the needs of the diaspora when it comes to real estate. Because so many years, so many people have lost a lot of land. So many people have acquired properties through their family and friends, and they've lost all. Then we decided that, you know what, we are going to change the narrative. We are going to change the narrative, and we will be the reason why the diaspora will come to Ghana. People who have been living in the UK, in the US, in Canada, Jamaica, we will be the reason why they should return to Ghana. And so far, the story has been amazing. It's been amazing. Yes.
I also have some experience in hospitality as well here in the States. So hospitality is a great industry to get in.
You get to meet all kinds of people. You get to meet all kinds of people in the hospitality industry.
Now, guys, if you're interested in the property opportunities in Aburi, go to makeafricahome.com. Again, go to makeafricahome.com. Fill out the questionnaire, send us a message, and we will get you guys the information that is needed. Now, Kelly, how's the Kelly? Are you from Ghana as well, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the I guess excitement for the Ghanaian diaspora in the UK who want to actually relocate back to Ghana? Is that picking up more and more, or?
Yes, I think particularly in the last 2 years, there has been a new trend of people wanting to go back home and identify from their roots. Recently we had Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa, the current president of Ghana, actually starting the return home campaign, actually encouraging those in the diaspora to come home. And in particular, we've seen a lot of Black Americans returning. We've seen Jamaicans coming down. We've seen a whole heap of people from across the globe wanting to identify with their roots, particularly those that are Black. They want to come and they want to identify with the roots. And, going back into history, into the slave trade, we know that Ghana was one of the, main hubs that were used for slave trading. And I think a lot of people can actually identify, with Ghana as a destination of origin. We can also, link back to the recent events like George Floyd, when all of these things are happening, when Blacks are beginning to wanting to be actually acknowledged and accepted for who they are. And I think that is also been one of the key reasons why a lot of people are beginning to think about, where they could have a true sense of belonging. So there are different reasons for different people, but for sure there are a lot more people inspired about wanting to identify with their origin. And I think gone are the days where we did not have WhatsApp, we did not have all these online opportunities for us to be able to know what Africa truly looks like. Because when I came to the UK over 20 years ago, the average person on the streets of UK, when you talk to them about Africa, they only have one perspective of Africa. They're looking at famished children. They're looking at, they can't identify with Africa as a true, force to reckon with. But I think in nowadays where, the world has become a lot more smaller due to the exposure of the online, of online ability to actually interact across the globe, I think is become very, it's become, it's become open to everyone, and people are beginning to see and recognize what Africa truly is. That it's a great nation that people want to be a part of.
Now, Danny, what's the process if someone wanted to acquire land from your company? What's the process as far as acquiring the land?
Okay, to add to what Kelly said concerning the diaspora coming to Ghana in terms of buying or acquiring property. Recently Steve Wonder has just announced that he's coming down to Ghana to relocate to Ghana.
All right.
And Rita Marley has been living in Ghana for the last 8 years or so.
She lives in Aburi.
Yes,
no, Rita Marley's been there like over 25 years, I think, or maybe.
Yes, she's been living in Ghana. Yes,
yeah.
And coupled with what Kelly said, the year of return was a big boost to the real estate industry in Ghana, because most of these guys in the diaspora have never been to Africa. And then when they came in 2019, most of these guys can identify their roots and trace it straight to Ghana. So most of them are now re-strategizing to come back to Ghana or Africa and invest. And what a beautiful time for us to start this new project, Great City. Okay, back to the question you asked, the processes concerning acquisition of land in Great City. Number one, if you want to acquire a property from us, you first have to come for viewing. And the viewing is actually free. We don't charge anything for viewing. After the viewing process, we then, if you showed interest, then prepare a site plan for you to take to the land registry to conduct the search. After the search, if you are satisfied, then now you will make your offer. For example, if you want to acquire an acre, 2 plots, 4 plots, 3 plots, whatever it is, then we will send you a draft land purchase agreement, LPA. Then you will read through. If you are okay, you will sign with your your witness. And after you sign, you will forward back to us. We will also sign our part. Then the transaction then begins.
Okay. Now, what if someone physically cannot come to the viewing? Do you offer virtual viewings?
We do. With the advent of social media and all these platforms like the Zoom and all the WhatsApp, we do virtual viewings as well. We've been doing it for the diaspora. Yes, please.
Now, what are the terms? Now, because a lot of our people from the diaspora, they won't necessarily be Ghanaian citizens. So what would be the terms of the lease? I guess it'll be a long-term lease. What are the terms?
If you are a Ghanaian citizen, you are entitled to up to 99 years of lease. But if you are non-Ghanaian citizen, you have up to 50 years maximum of lease interest in a land.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the question always is, at the end of that lease, how does it work out? Like, what's the next steps once the long-term lease ends?
Okay, so there's this new Land Act of 2020, which states that after the expiration of the lease, the regulator, which is the Land Commission, would have to evaluate the land and the property. Then the current holder of the lease has the first option to be able to renew. So gone are the days where landlords would just target the lessee, because now the property has appreciated. They will just negotiate with another person. Now our law says that you can only negotiate with the current lessee, and that you cannot, as a landlord, quote your own price. The regulator, which is the Land Commission, would have to come in, send valuers to come and value the land or the property according to the current market rate before negotiation can proceed.
Okay, that's fair. But so you acquire the land, you build your dream home. 50 years later, there's an issue where the buyer and the seller, they don't see eye to eye on how much she should pay to renew the lease. What happens to that beautiful property that I just built? Can I lose that? Like what can happen?
So can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Hello. It does not lie. It does not lie in the hands of the landlord to determine the value of the land.
All right.
Now, the new Land Act states that the Land Commission, who is the regulator, would have to send 8 valuers to value the property. So it is not at the discretion of the landlord. Right. So there is a regulator who will be in charge of this process.
Okay.
So it's more standardized nowadays. So it's standardized. The Land Commission are in charge, and effectively there is an official process to go through. And as I said, the first option is the owner of the land. So you got your dream home. The truth about this is, one of the fear that a lot of people have is, am I going to lose my home? No, you're not.
That's the question, because people were like, okay, I built my dream home. The lease ends after 50 years. What happens to my home? Like, what happens?
You're still gonna have your home. What the government is doing really is to have some level of regulation, in place, whereby the owner of the land actually has the option to actually keep the land for the long term. So effectively, if you're keeping the land, you've not moved from that place, you've not left the land derelict, you still have interest in the land, they're able to actually take a record to say that this person remains the owner of the land. And it's a matter of transaction of renewing your interest in the land. And there's just a little fee that's going to apply to the transaction. It's not going to be an extortionate, price where landlords by will can just label a price on it. But here you've got the you actually got the Ghana government with the land registry in charge and ensuring that there is a fair, treatment to those that have actually spent money in acquiring land.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Also, too, I forgot to give this disclaimer. When acquiring real estate, investing in Africa, period, guys, make sure you still do your own research, please. People who are watching this, still make sure you do your own research. Now, people who are interested in acquiring the property, what are the payment options? Because, out here in America, you get a 30-year mortgage, put a small amount down. Like, what are the different payment options for those who, might not have the full amount of money up front, but they're interested in acquiring the land?
Okay. Currently, what we are doing is with the Great City project, we are selling plots by plot, and then we will design building concepts for you to build. And you have up to 6 months purchase installment plan. You make 50%, and then we spread the other 50% for a maximum of 6 months for you to pay.
Okay. Now, and how long do you have to build? You have a certain amount of time to build, right?
Yes. We have at least minimum of 2 years. You should be able to do something on the land, start development. You don't have to necessarily complete the project, but you should at least start something on the land, start developing the land within a period of 24 months. This policy is to make sure that in 24 months, anybody that acquires land from us would have their value of their land tripled, quadrupled, or see astronomical increment in terms of value. So that's what we want to do, because we are targeting within 2 years, our estate should be ready for habitation. That's why we put such policies around to just guide the customers. So we tell you upfront before you come that we are looking to develop this community within 2 years. And if you are buying land from us, you should be able to develop the land to any level within 24 months.
Okay. Now, what happens? You get your land and you just sit on the land and you don't start development. What can be the consequences of that?
After the 2 years or before the 2 years?
Yeah. After the 2 years, you don't do nothing on the land. You got a lot of people that just want to buy land, just sit on it.
Okay, so this is not the right place for buying land and just leave it. So if you buy land for 2 years, without developing it, you lose it. We'll relocate you, but we'll relocate you to somewhere else. We cannot tell because we would have other properties. Probably by then, we'll relocate you to my village. But then my village will be the by then my village will be the next biggest real estate destination, because now property is appreciating so fast in Ghana. Okay, lands that used to sell at probably 5,000 Ghana cedis like 5 years ago are now selling at 50,000 Ghana cedis, which is about $8,000.
Right.
Lands that used to sell around $1,000 within 4 years ago are now selling close to $8,000.
Right.
So if you acquire a land from us in Great City, you must at least develop it within 2 years to any level. You don't necessarily have to complete the development. Yes.
Now, you guys have there's a planned development, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us more about that? Can you tell us more about that?
Okay. So Great City in itself, in Aburi, in a place called Amanfo, has 3 different access points. It's connecting to a place we call Pokwase Interchange. Just about 20 minutes drive from there to Pokwase Interchange. There's another route to Nsawam, which is also 15 minutes drive. And then you can also use Aburi, which is like 10 minutes from the Aburi township to the side. Now, this is a community-based project. We are not just looking at developing an estate. We are developing a city, hence great city. So we will have a shopping mall, we'll have international schools, we'll have a recreational center, we'll have a plaza, restaurants, and all the facilities that is needed to build a modern community, like hospitals and other facilities, will all be in place. And some of these projects, we are going to partner with other buyers from the diaspora. And we are looking at 2 years. Within 2 years, we should be able to have some of these things in place.
Okay. Okay. And let's see here. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat room. Any questions in the chat room? Anyone? Shout out to Black Beauty in the chat room. Okay, like I know this is hard to. Oh, what kind of specs? So someone wants to come to Aburi and they want to build a skyscraper. I'm just joking, but if they like, what are they allowed to build?
Okay, I'll take that as well. So in Great City in Aburi, you're supposed to build minimum of 2 stories. When I say 2 story, I mean the American system of 2 story, as in like the ground floor and the first floor. You cannot put up a ground floor only. You cannot put a single story. You must at least put up 2 story or more. You can go as high as you want to go, but it has to be minimum of 2 story.
Okay. Let's see what else we have here in the chat room, guys. If you have any questions, K-Pack, to get more information, make sure you go to Make Africa Home again. I'm sorry, Make Africa Home. Go to makeafricahome.com. Makeafricahome.com. The link is in the chat room. K-Pack. Hope I'm saying that right. K-Pack. Yeah, link is in the site. Link is in the chat room. Click on that to gain more information. We'll get you guys connected. Also, guys, make sure you visit OneAfricaProperties.com. Again, OneAfricaProperties.com, your central source for real estate on the continent of Africa. Someone just asked a great question. What infrastructure is available? So electricity, water, or you have to do borehole. Like what's available?
Okay. Currently, all the roads to the site are tarred, as paved. All the roads are paved. We have electricity right in front of the estate. The company itself is going to construct a communal borehole to supply the entire estate. And we will also have a facility management. I didn't speak to that. We'll have a facility management right across the estate. And we will be open to we will hope that all the occupants of the estate will subscribe. So if you need the services of a technician, for example, electricity technician, air conditioning technician, you would have all on site. And we are also going to have our office right across the estate where we will sell all the hardware materials needed for construction. So you don't have to look elsewhere to go and buy your materials for construction.
Okay, someone's asking, can you buy several plots or an acre to do a garden?
Say it again.
Can you buy several plots or an acre to just do a garden? That's more like a farm, but yeah, that's what they're asking. If they just wanted to do a garden.
This is a residential property. So it's purely for residential purposes. We have another park earmarked for commercial, which we call the commercial park, which will have the recreational center, will have the state-of-the-art gym and outdoor space for kids, playing ground, swimming pool, and all. If they want to have those sort of businesses, they can still come to us and we will listen to them. If it's viable, why not? We'll give them the opportunity. Kelly, do you have something to
I think, yeah, I'm just reading through some of the comments, and I think we're touching on bits and bobs of all of that. I
Right.
think the one thing that people need to understand about why we have the 2 year, restriction on the sale. So effectively, Ghana is a place where it develops individually. Yeah. Apart from when you go to a place where it's an estate development, where somebody acquires acres of land, they build the same type of house, and then they sell it to the public. Other than that, when people buy individual plots, they develop someone will buy a plot next to you with the vision that, oh, do you know what? I just want to let this land appreciate, and 10 years' time, I'm going to sell it for more money. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're building a city. We want to build a city that is habitable by all that dwell in that city. So we don't want a situation whereby somebody comes, build a nice mansion next door to them, it's just full of bush, and somebody just bought the land for investment, they've done nothing on it, and it just looking overgrown and not well kept. So we're looking for people that want to inhabit the city within a short period of time. And I think that's why we got this strategy in place. With the payment method, Danny's explained a maximum of 6 months, because if somebody cannot make the payment within 6 months, how likely are they going to bill within 2 years? So these are some of the factors that we're looking into. And we're quite very, very flexible. We're looking for people that want to invest in the dream that we have in Great City. So with the person that is talking about a garden, we'll be happy to have a conversation with them, understand what they want to do, why they want to do that, and see if it's something that we can incorporate in that city. Because Aburi is it hosts it houses the botanical garden of the whole of Ghana. And the botanical garden has got all kinds of trees. A lot of people go there as a tourist attraction. And because we're right next door to Aburi, we want it to be as green as possible. So having lots of plants, having lots of greens, having lots of trees is a wonderful thing, and it's something I really want to have. And it's someone that we would love to have a discussion with in order to see how we can incorporate that in what we're already doing. And if it's something that would work for the community, 100% we want to buy into that. Just 2 days ago, I was having a meeting with the architects. So what we're beginning to do, we're drafting a plan to actually give our tenants that have already acquired. So now we on our phase one, we over 60%, acquisition of the land. So, and a lot of them are in the US, Canada, UK. We've got a few people in Belgium, in Holland, in Germany that are acquiring land from us. And there's a few people in Ghana that are also buying, So what we want to do is to develop the concept and actually let people understand what we're trying to achieve on the land. So very shortly, those that have already acquired land are going to see a master plan with a 3D view of how we're going to get the electricity, the water, the road layout, the parks that we're going to have to give a social feel to the environment, where people can, get together and have, and actually, enjoy the environment. We've got a security house already built that's going to give safety to everybody that's going to acquire land within the premises. And along the main road, we also got the commercial units, where we're also encouraging people that have got business ideas that want to actually establish a business within that community. Because what we want to do is very unique and is very different. What we're building is we're building a city. We're not just selling land, we're building a city. And what kind of city are we trying to build? We're trying to build a sustainable community. A sustainable community where we're taking very good care of the environment. We're taking very good care of the people that come to live there. And we're also making sure that every infrastructure and everything necessary for everyone to live comfortably is going to be available within that city. So if you need whatever your lifestyle may be, you're going to find, that you will find what you need in Great City. The only time you would have to travel outside of Great City if you're going to visit somebody outside of town, not because you want to get groceries, not because you want to have fun or elsewhere, not because you want to get to a restaurant that's not available in the community, not because you want to go shopping in a plaza somewhere that is not available within the community. We're going to have a shopping plaza, a sports complex. We're going to have a clinic. We're going to have everything that you can think of. We're going to have our schools within the community. So living in that city, in that community, you would have no need to go elsewhere unless you choose to go elsewhere. That's all.
Awesome.
And then to add to that as well, we have non-Ghanaians, like some from the Caribbean, some African American, who have never been to Ghana before, but have already acquired some of the lands already.
Yes.
And some of them are beginning to come this July, September. They are all coming down. So it's an exciting time for us and for all our diasporan who wants to acquire land and property in Africa and probably relocate to this place.
Yes.
All right. We had a couple questions in the chat room. Let me let's see here. Let me go through these questions. Building costs. Here we go. What are some average costs of construction for the varying styles of the houses that can be built? What kind of issues could come up that can affect the costs?
Okay, let me take that. So when it comes to the cost of the construction, it depends. It's relative. It's not
Right.
It depends on what you want to build. So what we do is that first of all, we listen to you, whatever you want to build. Once we design the architectural plan for you, we will take you through all the various stages, and the quantity surveyors will give you all the costs. For example, we can break it down into 4 different segments, 4 different stages. We have the foundation work, we have the superstructure, we have the decking, and then we'll send you all these costs for you to peruse, and then you go through and then you get back to us. So there's no particular amount of money that we can say, okay, this is the price for this. But it depends on the facilities you are going to put up. For example, if you want to have a swimming pool in a 4-bedroom house, it is not the same amount as somebody who wants to have 4-bedroom house without swimming pool. Yes.
Okay. And then another question was, I think we already answered this though. What happens if there is a dispute over the new terms of the lease? What happens? So at the end of the lease, if there's a dispute and you already built your home, if you could repeat, like what could happen?
There can be a dispute because now the powers have been taken away from the landlord. The regulator is the one in charge. So that is an independent body, which is backed by law to undertake these processes of renegotiation of lease. So previously, yes, they could have issues, but now the regulator, which is the Land Commission, is in charge of this process. So that has taken away issues of disputes, and if I may say.
Okay. Could you so we have another question. Need clarity. When you are a Ghanaian citizen or a foreigner, you cannot own land in Ghana. You can only lease. Can you? Okay, so even though you're leasing the land, you still have ownership rights. Meaning, if you wanted to resell that land, you can. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. You could make any improvements, do what you want with that land. Correct. So you pretty much own it, but it's just considered a lease.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say Dynas has acquired 2 plots from Royal Kingdom Estate. You have titled your land, have a clean title. You are able to sell it to Kelly Semen. The land, the interest of the land is now entitled to you. So it's just a lease period of 99 or 50 years. But then it is yours. Within this period, whatever you choose to do with your land, once it's in agreement with the lease document, which is the indenture, which in itself is a contract between yourself and your lessors. In this case, Royal Kingdom Estate is the lessors, and then the buyers are the lessees. So once every terms there is abided by, you are able to go ahead and do everything that is in the agreement.
Someone's asking, do you need a resident permit to buy land in Ghana? Do you need a resident permit to buy land in Ghana?
No, you don't need a resident permit to buy land in Ghana. You can only get 50 years since you are not a Ghanaian, but you don't need a resident permit to acquire land in Ghana.
No, well, but Judy, in Ghana, okay, can you? So I know in some cases, right, in Ghana, depending on the type of a land, you can have freehold, correct? Like, is that true?
Okay. Okay, so the highest interest in a land
Uh-huh.
is called the allodial title. And this allodial title is vested in the clan heads, in family heads, and for instance, in individuals. It's even possible an individual can have a freehold. But after that freehold, which is owned by the chiefs, the stew, the families, no individual, when they are selling to you, you cannot get a freehold. You can only get a leasehold. And in
Okay.
that leasehold, you can create a sublease or assignment. So that is the structure. Those are the various interests in land. So you cannot have an individual cannot acquire a land and have a freehold title. No.
All right, let's see here. A black dynamite, that's not true. Okay, okay, here we go. This is a good question. When I sell the land, is it minus the amount of time I used up? So if I bought the land, 50-year lease, after 5 years, I sell it to somebody else. Is it now a 45-year lease or is it revert back to a 50-year lease?
A 45-year lease because you have already exhausted 5 years of the initial 50 years lease.
Okay. If the person who leased the land passes after the land is developed, will the land go to the heirs or back to the original landowner?
No, it can't go back to the original owner. It has to go back to the heirs.
Okay.
It can't go back to the original.
No, Judy, he's in Aburi. It's not in Cape Coast. It's in Aburi. Yeah, I think that's it. Like what we'll do, we'll start closing out. Guys, make sure you go to makeafricahome.com. Again, makeafricahome.com, and also visit OneAfricaProperties.com as well. We'll start with you, Mr. Semi. Anything else you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, I think the key thing here is, I mean, we get a lot of questions about leases, right?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to leases, a lot of people. One thing I do not want to have is this: I spend my hard-earned money, I buy a piece of land, and in 50 years' time, my son cannot enjoy it.
Right.
You understand? And that I think is a key question that most of people in the diaspora or those are not Ghanaian residents or from Ghana originally have as an issue. What it is the government has now taken over this actual land acquisition rights. So before you got different individuals with different rules, yeah. And if you have an individual whose parents sold land to you 50 years ago, and they're thinking, do you know what? My dad has made money from that, so I need to profit from it as well. And because of that, you've had this system whereby there isn't a rule that fits everybody. So the government's now looked at this and are thinking that this is not a good way to actually treat customers that have actually originally owned land. So because of that, that's why we've got the new act, which is now in place. And what the act is there for is to actually protect the consumer. So you as a consumer, you need to know that the law actually supports you, the law actually protects you, and it gives you legal rights to continue to own your property. So effectively, what you're doing is you're just renewing the lease or renewing your interest in the land that you've already acquired. And there is no interest in anybody taking that land from you. Once you bought it from Royal Kingdom Estates or you bought it from somebody else, that person has lost ownership of that land permanently. They have no rights or any title or any cause to return to reclaim that land. Yeah, the only relationship between yourself and the land is with the lands commission, and that's it. And the lands commission are there to protect the consumer, and that's what you need to actually, understand, that this is there to protect your interest. So what I would do, if when I before I pass on, I just make sure that I note that in my will to my heirs, to set that the lease of this property runs out on this date, and just make that you're just going to go through a process of renewing the lease, and that's all it is. And there will be a fee to pay based on the valuation of the land, and that's it. There isn't anything more to it than that. And again, we focus on the 50 years for the foreigner, but we also need to also know that this same law applies to a native Ghanaian at 99 years. Yeah, so it does not matter, even if you are a Ghanaian, born and bred in Ghana, lived in Ghana all your life, you also are subject to the same laws. But the only thing is, instead of 50 years, it's going to be 99 years. And you're going to do exactly the same thing that a foreigner would do at 50 years.
All right. On average, how much is a 50-year lease versus 99-year lease? The price is the same. It's just, it depends if you're a foreigner or a local, but the price is the same. All right, Danny, anything else you'd like to share in closing?
Okay, so I'd like to assure the diaspora that if there's one company that is looking to form the best of bond, business bond with them, then it's Royal Kingdom Estate. This project, Great City, is actually meant for the diaspora because, one, the view of Great City is amazing. The natural topography of this land is quite unique. And there is infrastructure. There is everything possible being made possible by us for them to be able to come back to Ghana and invest in real estate. One other aspect I also need to touch on is you don't necessarily have to buy it for your personal residential purpose. You can also buy it for commercial purpose. For instance, you can acquire 2 plots and use it for real estate business. We will support you and make sure that we build this place together. Am I able to mention the amount that it's selling for, the cost of the
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So a plot is selling at 40,000 Ghana cedis outright, which is about $7,000. If you are paying in installment, then it goes to 45 because of time value of money. Because by 6 months, the property will normally appreciate. There'll be a lot of development, and this is the first phase. We have about 3 more phases more. The entire project is 200 acres. We have started with the 40 acres, and we are selling about 60% so far. And it's an exciting time. We can't wait to have you guys on board. Thank you.
Everyone, make sure you go to OneAfricaProperties.com. Again, make sure you go to OneAfricaProperties.com and also go to MakeAfricaHome.com. Everyone, MakeAfricaHome.com. Until next time, One Africa Properties. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.